and a warm welcome to State of Business on Art Television. I'm Heshain Ali and let's have a look at the headlines first. Trade Ministry introduces a special relief program for the New Year season. Headline inflation increased to 4.1% in last month from 3.3% in February 2021. News in detail. The Minister of Trade, Bandula Gunawardena, states that a relief program will be launched from today onwards to provide 12 essential consumer goods for the New Year season through Lux Satasa at a price of 1,000 rupees. He brought forward this addressing a media at the ministry premises yesterday. Government took steps to keep the prices of 27 essential commodities stable from February, and while the concession remains in place, the Ministry of Commerce has taken steps to provide 12 essential consumer goods for the New Year season from today through Lux Satasa for 1,000 rupees. 1 kilogram of red rice, 1 kilogram of white rice, 1 kilogram of nut rice, 1 kilogram of white sugar, 1 kilogram of red lentils, 1 kilogram of wheat flour, 1 packet of salt, 250 grams packets of sprouts, 1 packet of soya meat, 1 packet of tea powder and a face mask are included in the relief bag.
අවුරුදු සහන මල්ල ඒ තුලින් රුපියල් 410ක වෙළඳපොලේ පවතින මිලට වඩා රුපියල් 410ක ඉතිරියක් ඇති වෙන බව තමයි සතොස ගණක ශිල්පීන් විසින් මට දන්නලා තියෙන්නේ. ඒ අනුව ඒ තුල අතිරේක වාසියක් මේ දිනවල අවුරුදු නිමිත්තෙන් සතොසට පැමිණෙන පාරිභෝගික ජනතාවට ලබා දෙනවා. එය සතොස සහන මල්ලයි.
Headline inflation as measured by the year-on-year change in the Colombo Consumer Price Index surged to 4.1% in March 2021 from 3.3% in February 2021 due to the statistical effect of the low base prevailed in March 2020. This was revealed by a statement from Central Bank yesterday. Meanwhile, food inflation increased to 9.6% in March 2021 from 7.9% in February 2021, while the non-food inflation increased to 1.8% in March 2021 from 1.3% in February 2021. The change in the CCPI measured on an annual average basis decreased to 4% in March 2021 from 4.1% in February 2021. Monthly change of CCPI recorded at minus 0.18% in March 2021. This was due to price decreases observed in items of the food category. Moreover, monthly changes of food and non-food categories recorded at minus 0.49% and 0.31% respectively in March 2021. Accordingly, within the food category, prices of vegetables, green chili, fresh fish and turmeric powder decreased in last month. Meanwhile, prices of items in the non-food category recorded an increase during the month, mainly due to price increases observed in the restaurant and hotel subcategory. The core inflation, which reflects the underlying inflation in the economy, increased to 3.1% in March 2021 from 2.6% in February 2021. The annual average core inflation remained unchanged at 3% in March 2021. Joint Secretary of the Free Trade Zones and General Services Employees Union, Anton Marcus, states that the government and the majority of the factory owners have disregarded garment workers' rights during the COVID-19 pandemic. He stated this addressing the media in Colombo today.
Speaking further, the Secretary Marcus highlighted the basic rights which the factory owners have disregarded along with a 40% reduction of their average salary. He also noted about the failure of the factory owners to set up COVID-19 bilateral health committees as decided by the Ministry of Labour. The union also appealed the apparel brands and the Joint Apparel Association Forum to implement a strategic plan to protect the health and livelihoods of employees.
When the pandemic is spreading everywhere, the COVID-19 tripartite task force took a decision to set up bipartite COVID-19 health committees at every factories before 15th of December. So how many garment factories have set up this COVID-19 bipartite health committees? According to our information, only 2 factories out of 350 garment factories have set up COVID-19 bipartite health committees.
Stay tuned for more news right after this commercial break.
මගේ ආදරණීය වාහනය ආදරෙන් සුරකින්න මම පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ එකෝ ටැබ්ලට්. ඔයාලගේ වාහනේට බය නැතුව එකෝ ටැබ්ලට් පාවිච්චි කරන්න.
ඔබගේ ආදරණීය වාහනය ආදරෙන් සුරකින්න එකෝ ටැබ්ලට්ස් භාවිතා කරන්න.
Sponsored by
Welcome back after the break. A report from the Tourism Ministry stated that Tourism Minister Prasanna Ranatunga has already begun discussions with provincial governors with a will to resolve the crisis over the tax gap between the registered and unregistered institutions in levying provincial taxes on those engaged in the tourism sector. The report shows that due to this huge tax gap, some are trying to evade paying taxes to the government, and the government loses a large amount of money annually as some are operating institutions without being registered with the government. Thus, it is planned to encourage taxpayers at the provincial level through tax concessions. This includes facilitating the promotion of local product sales at tourist attractions involving new entrepreneurs in tourism-related products, activating transport services to enable tourists to travel to tourist attractions within an hour related to motorcycle services, and canals implementing boat services and launching awareness programs on pedestrian attractions. It is a common sight for tourists visiting the island to stay in urban areas, including Colombo, and it's hoped that this program will earn more foreign exchange for the country. The implementation of this new program expected to generate a large number of jobs and create a number of new entrepreneurial opportunities through the creation of a liquidity supply network. The reduction of provincial taxes is expected to attract more entrepreneurs at the provincial level for this process. Former Foreign Minister Mangala Samaraweera stated that Sri Lanka should use diplomacy and not engage in confrontation to find solutions at international forums such as the United Nations Human Rights Council. He emphasized this addressing the media in Colombo yesterday. Minister Mangala Samaraweera said that in 2015 he had appealed for the UNHRC to give the previous government a little more time till September that same year to present the country's own resolution for a national independent judicial mechanism. Further, the former minister said that in the present context of the 2021 resolution, the incumbent government should raise trust through diplomacy. He noted that only 11 countries supported Sri Lanka when the new resolution was taken up at the UNHRC, in which majority of countries which supported Sri Lanka were those who also had atrocities to hide, he alleged.
When Sri Lanka opposed that move by Geneva, only 12 people were left to support Sri Lanka, as opposed to 23 people supporting the UNHCR resolution with 12 abstentions. And this time we saw again our support base has fallen to 21 countries, and most of them autocracies who are more interested in hiding or protecting their atrocities than supporting Sri Lanka.
Citizens Organisation for Justice was formed in collaboration with Sri Lankan Collective Against Torture Organisation yesterday at the Right to Life Human Rights Centre in Dematagada, with the participation of lawyers and the victims of physical and mental torture. Simultaneously, the official website of the Sri Lankan Alliance Against Torture was launched.
You have seen very recently how a policeman did a somersault and assaulted an innocent citizen in our country, and that is because the violence in Parliament, even the verbal violence in Parliament, is giving a very bad, setting an example to the society in a very, very bad way. So, in February of 2021, the Supreme Court of Sri Lanka issued a verdict against cruelty to children. It was a very historic and a very progressive and revolutionary decision, and they banned corporal punishment on 5 grounds: the Constitution, going against some of the contradicting penal code sections where violence is normalized against children. They rejected the social norms and myths justifying violence against children, like the very famous Kirihodda story. 4, they re-endorsed the circulars by the Ministry of Education where they have prohibited hitting children, physical punishment in schools. And finally, they also endorsed the international rules and regulations pertaining to the United Nations Rights of the Child Committee Convention.
Stay tuned for stock updates.
වසරේ දැවැන්තම විවාහ මංගල ප්‍රදර්ශනය අප්‍රේල් 2, 3, 4 දෙදින පුරාවට බණ්ඩාරනායක සමන්ත්‍රණ ශාලාවේ සිනමාවෝ බණ්ඩාරනායක පරිශ්‍රයේදී මනාලියන් දැක්ම සහ රූපලාවන්‍ය පිළිබඳ වැඩමුළු රාශියක් දෙදින පුරා විවාහ 2021 සංවිධානය ඉවෙන්ට් මීඩියා සමානුග්‍රහය මාධ්‍යානුග්‍රහය තරුණී පුවත්පත.
News, views, highlights, updates and opinions. This is Wake Up With Us.
Welcome back after the break. Trading at Colombo Stock Exchange ended on a positive note today. The all-share price index gained by 72 points to close at 7,193.28, and the S&P SL20 gained by 17.60 points to close at 2,867.72. The turnover was 1.5 billion rupees and over 86 million shares were traded. Up next are Forex rates. That's all news for today. See you tomorrow with State of Business at the usual time. Until then, take care and good night.